So now we have this fuzz, and again, I'm also going to go in and add inputs. Or here's what I also can do. I'm going to undo. And actually, if I keep these items outside of what I'm clustering, Grasshopper will automatically expose those as inputs. That's what I mean. And now I have these inputs conveniently exposed. They're not labeled. I can label them by hand, but you know, how very convenient and considerate, Grasshopper. With this nice fuzz we get. Since this might get a little complicated, I'm just going to label them division number of divisions. This one is length of line. So here's the length of line. And here's the degrees, or the angle, so to speak. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and connect these back in. Fuzz maker, I'll call it. So now I can control these things. And make this a floating point so I can kind of smoothly adjust the size of these. Interesting, where do we get those lines? Very curious, right? I see, it's the mirror function. Let's chalk it up to an interesting quirk. Great. So now we have this fuzz maker, and we also have the circles along the line cluster. And I can plug them into each other. Oops. And then what this will do is I'll get all these circles along these lines. I can decrease the radius. I can have the circles along these lines. I can change the number of circles I have along. So here's this kind of strange, peacocked, feathered version. If I hide the original line, and maybe I even hide this, I can get this kind of strange circle-generated fuzz that is kind of describing a line, but isn't quite, and far, in some ways, different, or doing some other operations from the original line. Let's show this back in. Now the fun thing about clusters is I can also change the order of these and get a drastically different result. So remember what this got. In fact, I'll bake this geometry so we can just see it. Move this guy over here. So if I change the order of this, in other words, if I make the circles first and create the fuzz, I'll get something drastically different. Move all these circles, we'll make them a little bigger. Then I make fuzz around those circles. Now this may take a while. Right into Visual GSAPP. Ooh, interesting. Kind of a double helix, right? Let's do some adjustments. Interesting. This is absolutely unexpected. technically this number of divisions is not number of divisions since it's dividing it by, I believe, the length. Yes. So the higher we go with this, the fewer we will have. So again, it's not number of divisions, it's the length of each. Let's change this radius to, let's make fewer circles and have, say, radius of 5. Okay. Aha! So one of the bugs is that we probably need to graph this item and tell it to do it, have this operation operate on each individual piece of geometry. So if I graphed it, now you can see it's a little bit better. And watch this go, and we have this funny pattern. We add the number of circles. I can lengthen the lines, change the angle of the lines. But you can see I get a very drastically different result. And, you know, on one hand it's obvious. On the other hand, you can imagine the potential for what you can do. You know, let's say you lengthen this fuzz. Can you add fuzz onto the fuzz? Maybe, probably. That'd be interesting. Let's try it again. And fuzz onto the fuzz. Oh, right, we have to visualize this. So I had it hidden. Here we go, the fuzz of the fuzz. Let's make this a little smaller to be a little bit more obvious. Whew. Maybe I'll lower the length of the line. Probably more like it. Here we go. So now you can see the fuzz of the circles. So the question is, in what way would this be valuable for ADR? Talk about texture. Now, you can imagine that this is just a way of getting some sort of fuzz, and instead of creating circles and creating lines, you can kind of think of a myriad of number of ways you might be able to do so. But in terms of describing a volume, one of the nice things about these things is that, for example, let's say you have a building. To create a building, just a very, very quick building. Alright. Alright. Excellent. Let's say this is my building. And I can then make 2D it. Grab this info. Now let's say I want to shade certain aspects of it. So what I can do is use the curve boolean tool to curve boolean and grab, say, just the side parts. And so to lead input none, and I would get these lines that are then going to plane a surface on and make surfaces out of, and then grab these guys and I can contour them. Okay, let's contour them. And then I can grab these. In fact, I'm going to select point, delete them. Grab just the lines. And then I can use them as my starting geometry. Alright, This may be a little slow because if you recall, I'm taking a line, I'm dividing it into 30 pieces, doing this over and over again. I should have probably taken that script and disabled one of the things. This will probably take a while.